Hello, you wonderful people. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we want to have a real talk with you, okay? All coded in peace and love as to why you may not be growing on Instagram with all the effort that you feel that you are putting into the platform. And that's also if you're being real with yourself and knowing that you're putting effort into the platform. But we really want to just break down, because we do get this in comments often, and we do get these consults where someone will come to us and they'll ask us like, hey, I'm doing everything right, I'm putting out content and blah blah blah, and then we go to the page and we see a bunch of things that are wrong and are able to call it out really quickly. So we felt it would be helpful for you all to have that in one video for you to reference and reflect on the output that you're putting out on Instagram. So let's just dive right into the first thing that we noticed.
First and foremost, almost always, it's not them, it's you. And this has been one of the hardest things for us to kind of convey to people, because it is pretty difficult to hear that it's you and it's your fault why your Instagram posts are not really converting.
With peace and love.
With peace and love. And we wanted to just start off with this one because this is our kind of a little more brutally honest video than maybe before, where we're not really saying this as directly as we are right now. But truly, like Tiff said earlier, if you're being honest with yourself, it most likely is you and it is your content, and it could be any part of it. And even if it's just one element of your content that's not connecting with people, that is going to hinder your growth. So there could be anything. Maybe you're not using high quality images or videos. Maybe you're not cutting your reels to trending audio. Maybe it's your cover of the reel and it just doesn't look great in your feed and it's not super clean. It's not inspiring, educational, or entertaining, which are the three pillars of a good Instagram post.
Which we did do a video on. So when we talked about conveying value, that is a video that we did and broke down those three really important fundamental parts of any good piece of content. So we'll leave it up there for you.
And this is kind of maybe even hard to say. The post might be boring, pointless, or just straight up irrelevant. And that is one of the hardest things, to look at your own content honestly and be able to identify that. Maybe there's no narrative to your post and there's nothing for somebody to follow. So there's so many different things and there's so many reasons why it might not work, but almost all of the different elements aside from the algorithm fall onto you. So take a good, hard, honest look at your content and see if you can identify what you can change.
Yeah, because it's really easy to blame the algorithm, right? It's really easy to say that the algorithm hates you.
Yeah.
But what the algorithm does is analyze what people respond well to and show more of that. So that means you're not giving the algorithm the content that it knows people respond well to, which means it's the content or your optimization that's the problem. It's not the algorithm's problem. Another reason why you may not be growing on Instagram is because you are being entirely stubborn and also precious then about your content or what you're doing or your current methods. So at High Season, we are huge on testing. We are always testing. If you ever went through our account, you'll see that a bunch of random things can be happening, even something that might be contrary to what we've told you at a time, because we like to see if things have changed. That is so key, because we know that social continues to change and the algorithm ebbs and flows based on consumer or user behavior. So that's something that we're always doing. You cannot be precious about your content. What matters most is that you're creating with the purpose to grow your business, to grow your platform, which means the way that you need to do that is through attention, and you need to create content that drives attention, and you need to optimize your posts in order to get more people to find you. So if you've always used 30 hashtags and you just refuse, for example, to use 15 because 30's always been the way, that is not the right way to approach things. Or if you just feel that your branding's the best, but you're never getting any views, you're never getting any clicks, engagement, nothing follows, you might need to take a look at your branding. So you cannot be stubborn about this. And we do get this pushback sometimes in consults and have to coach people out of this, because they might be like, my reels are amazing. And you're like, no.
I got an example of that, which I won't go too specific, but I had someone who was doing extremely well on TikTok, but those exact same pieces of content weren't performing at all on reels, and they didn't want to understand that they sometimes had to make different content for different platforms, and it was tough because they just couldn't understand why it was working so well here and not so well there. And that is a great example of kind of being stubborn about it.
Yeah.
And I remember when we started High Season, Gary Vee used to always say, don't be romantic about your content or how you make your money. So if the industry changes or there's new opportunities, don't be like, we only do this, like open it up.
And when you're thinking about that, if you feel that, you just have, which is fair, that one vision and you can't see outside of yourself, ask a friend. The reason we have consults is people want their professional's advice. Yeah. So you can go seek out, you can consult with us, you can consult with someone else, or you can ask your friends or family to be like, hey, would you watch this? Even you have to say, would you want to watch this twice, for example? Would you want to watch the full minute of this? If you are bored at all with your own content, then why would you expect that someone else is not going to be bored by it? You have to think it's fire. You have to watch it like 17 times and be like, this is amazing. Yeah. And that's what you should be putting out. And if you feel like maybe it's still not working when I think I'm amazing, then that's when you can seek help either from professionals or either from your friends or family or your network. And when we're speaking about that, because something we've added because of these consults is, shall we tell them?
Let's tell them right now.
All right. So you all know we were talking about it in another video. We have decided to start a membership channel. Yes. So as part of that membership, we are doing live Q&As. It's not something we're doing on this main channel, but it's something that we realize we need to create more of like a tailored, personalized support. And at a smaller scale in a membership, it's a lot more doable for us. And also we just get so many questions, and bless Craig's soul, he goes in and replies to like as many comments as possible. But we also have we run a full-time agency. So we realize, what can we do this at a more manageable scale? And we'll be doing that through our membership channel. So our membership channel, if you're seeing this video, is live now, and somewhere there it's going to say join, and you'll be able to see all the details on it. So we're doing live Q&As. We are doing exclusive free downloadables that are actually going to be paid products in our shop, but will be free to members only. We're also going to be offering members only discounts and promos on some of our services. So you'll find out more of those details inside. And we're also going to be doing some behind the scene vlogs, some of the content that feels a bit more freeing that we don't really feel like we can do on our public YouTube channel. Yeah. But just more of that like behind the scenes fun stuff that's not super optimized for views and all that stuff, but we feel would be helpful if any entrepreneur, any business owner watching wants to just see what the other side of, running this agency, speaking to clients, speaking to other experts and other professionals look like. So again, that membership is available. It'll be in the description, and it'll also be a little button that says join, where you will get more information.
The next reason why you're not growing on Instagram is that your content isn't shareable. And this kind of ties into what Tiff was saying earlier about, maybe you don't want to watch your same piece of content multiple times. Would you share that piece of content with a friend? If you wouldn't, then that's not going to be the greatest piece of content. Shares and saves are the two biggest metrics that the Instagram algorithm really looks at, along with watch time, obviously for reels, and the longer that you stay on that reel, the better. You can do things like explain something in an actionable way, which is something that we try to do, or even if it's a multi-part series, like part one, and keeps people coming back for the next one, just something that's helpful. And once again, coming back to those three pillars, like inspirational, educational, or entertaining. If it doesn't fit into that and people don't want to share it, or you don't want to share it, then maybe it's not the greatest piece of content, which is therefore hindering your growth on the platform.
The next reason why you might not be growing on Instagram is because you do not have a strategy in place. Come on, like if you're doing anything in life, you have to have something down on paper that actually ladders up to your goals. So why are you on the platform? What are you doing? Who are you speaking to? If you don't know who you're speaking to, your content will not resonate with anyone. That means you're speaking to everybody, which is the worst case scenario, because there's not somebody who's like, oh, that was for me. I'm compelled to share it. I'm compelled to save it. This is going to improve my life. This makes me laugh. This makes me happy. Whatever feeling that, based on what Craig was saying, that you need to convey to make people share and make people want to save it or make people want to follow you for more. That all comes by knowing exactly who you're speaking to. And that's a core part of any strategy. In addition, that means you should have content pillars, which we get into actually in this video about how to start and grow on Instagram. That is a big part of that video, because content pillars are so key because they ladder up to your business goals, and it means that you're creating knowing. And anyone who works with us knows we are so specific on every single post. There is an objective that is tied to a content pillar that has a call to action. We never just post to post. Like in our Notion where we manage our calendar, our social media managers, they know the vibes. Okay. It's like very, very specific. And we will go back and be like, well, this post, it needs to change because it doesn't have a direct CTA that ladders up through our pillars that we've discussed. So we'll change it if it doesn't have a goal attached. So you need to have that social strategy. Definitely recommend you check out that video where we went into depth a little bit more about that.
Another reason why you may not be growing on Instagram is that you're posting about too many topics. We've talked about niching in the past, and that's something that every account needs to do. Now, you don't only have to have one topic, like you can post about a couple of different things. For example, for high season, we have multiple pillars, and typically, as far as our topics, we would mostly post about Instagram and YouTube in general.
I can tell you exactly what they are.
Make it easy.
Actually, because I have Notion up here right now.
Of course.
Because Notion has our notes, and this YouTube video is in there. So if you look at what our pillars are Instagram for business, which is what we're filming right now, YouTube growth, content creation, and entrepreneurship. Those are our 4 pillars that all have call to actions assigned to it.
And they're all aligned under social media and digital marketing, which is what we do. And that's what all of our content really is about. So once again, you can choose a couple of related things, because obviously if it's just one thing, maybe it even gets boring for you, and maybe you want to be slightly a little deeper for people to follow so you can talk about things. But if you're, say, a tennis instructor, don't go post about the video games you're playing.
That's so funny that I was thinking about the tennis because of one of our clients. But anyways,
that's what I wrote down in the example.
That's so funny.
I was like, and that's okay, because, you know, even we're running an account for a tennis instructor right now. Under that umbrella, obviously there's tennis and there's maybe skills, but there's nutrition and fitness.
Yeah.
So all of that makes complete sense.
And mindset is one of the pillars too.
Mindset as well. Amazing. Yeah. So that's like, you know, a holistic approach to a topic. So whatever your topic is, whatever your business is about, you know, you can post things that are relevant to it, but just don't go off topic, because then people are like, what is this about? And one, it's going to make you get less engagement first and foremost. And second, if it annoys people enough, and I feel like people are like, you know, on the edge these days, if something annoys them, it's done. They just cut it. They'll just unfollow and it's over.
Because it's different than what the promise was. And I think in the end, it is that niche. And under niches, there are topics that branch out under the niche, but you should stay to that niche. So I've seen creators say like, hey man, you don't need a niche. Like, I don't have a niche. They're usually massive creators who you will follow anyways, no matter what they're doing. They are the brand. But if you are not the brand, and in the end, you need people to buy into you, that's when you can get them to buy in. And eventually down the line, when they just love you so much, they'll listen to anything that you say, then you can start branching out. Another huge reason, and this is one of the biggest reasons that you may not be growing on Instagram, is because you are not posting consistently. And when we say you are not posting consistently, that doesn't mean that you need to post 7 times per week or anything over that. We preach this often. Like, you should only post as much as is doable and manageable for you with everything else that you're doing in life. But when you commit to showing up, you have to show up. You can't disappear for months on end and then come back, because what you're doing is not feeding the algorithm with your content so that it knows who you are and that they can rely on you to keep the users on their platform engaged. Remember, everything that we're doing on this is very tactical on Instagram in order to please the algorithm. And if the algorithm doesn't know who you are because you're never around, how will they serve your content and how will that benefit you? So you need to find a schedule that you stick to, and then people might be like, oh, you know, this account always hits me with some fire 3 days a week, and that's completely fine. We would recommend that you try to be in stories at least daily if you can, even if that means reposting. But again, commit to what you can commit to and focus more on the quality of the product versus an intense output of product. So quality over quantity always.
The next reason why you may not be growing on Instagram is that you're not building a community, which, you know, really is the whole point of social media. I've seen people say to post and ghost, and I've seen the Kardashians say to do that. Obviously, that's a
okay. I told you that.
You did.
I was like, I've seen the Kardashians. So I was like, you're not looking at the. You're not looking. I like to check in every now and then.
Yeah, that's true.
Thank you. But actually, Chloe told Kim to post and ghost.
Yes.
And then I showed it to Craig. I'm like, obviously, Chloe can tell Kim to post and ghost.
Different conversation. But if you're a business, you're trying to grow a clientele, it makes no sense. You need to respond to everybody at all times, because that's what building a community is. Posting and ghosting is not building a community of people who care about you. And a celebrity is not the same as a local business.
It's super selfish, really.
It's very selfish.
Yeah, it's very selfish.
It's a
We're
little
just like,
narcissistic,
hey, I'm
and
just gonna put out something. You listen, you look at it, and
you comment,
I'm not
tell
giving
me
you
how good it
anything
is.
for it. Yeah, I'm not gonna give you anything in return. Like
Yeah.
my time, my attention, my love, any of that stuff. Like
No.
just enjoy my thing.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I mean, you
yeah.
need to respond to every comment, like every comment, respond to every DM, be thoughtful, deliver value, go over and above, ask a secondary question to take it to the next step to get more comments, which pushes your post up in the algorithm. Like it's so 101, and we've said it before, but I just really felt like it needs to happen again because I have seen that post and ghost thing around, and it's couldn't be more wrong. It's ridiculous. So build the community, man.
Another reason you may not be growing on Instagram, and this is huge, you're not checking your insights. This means you are just putting out content, right? But you have no true idea of how that's performing because you're not actually looking at the metrics that are provided to you so that you can inform your strategy further. We live in our insights, okay? We get pretty intense with the insights, and that's because we have key things that we're paying attention to depending on the client, depending on the platform. But a lot of the times with Instagram, that saves, shares, and we're looking at watch time. We just want to see how people are engaging with the post, so that way we know how to move forward. So for example, if you see something that gets you a ton of saves, there might be something in that format that's working really well for you that you should duplicate, because once you understand how something works, it's really just duplicating from there and then making small tweaks as you go. So you need to look at your insights, go to that post insights, spot the differences and spot the patterns, and then look at how to bring that together so you can double down on that and produce the same desired result. So super, super important to check your insights. We do have a reporting template that we will leave in the description box below that's in our shop that you could check out. The members may get that template for free.
Just saying.
Just saying. Anyways, let us know how you feel. Be honest and authentic, okay? Do you feel like we called you out on something in this video today? Drop it in the comments. If you feel personally attacked, we're sorry about it, but we want to just talk to you real. That's the whole point. It's all peace and love, okay? If you want analysis on your profiles, if you want to ask us more personalized questions, that is why we are opening up the membership, for that exact reason. So go check it out. It is a very cost effective. You will see for yourself when you click that join button. All right. Yeah. It's what'd you say? It's a what?
It's a bargain.
It's a bargain. Like in the end, because we're just trying to make it something that at least makes it like worth the additional time input, but it's still affordable in this economy.
In this economy, it's our favorite saying.
In this economy is our favorite saying, because y'all know how it's going over there.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you so much for giving us your time and for coming back to watch another video. If you like this video, we definitely think you should go and check out this one next, and we will see you either on the inside of the membership or in the next video.
Peace.